Hey guys, Christina here. So today I want to talk to you guys about how to get designers to understand your brand's vision and being able to release that creative control. Let's go. I want to bring up something that I always do in any project that I get from a client. And this helps me to understand your vision and know who your customers are, as well as your mission, your values, your story. These all matter, right? When it comes to putting everything into visuals. So I want to share the first step that I always do when working with a client. I always book a discovery session. Now, what is a discovery session, you may ask? A discovery session is a workshop that could last about 3 to 5 days, but this gives me a great understanding about you as a person, what your goals are, what your vision is. And this is super important to me because I get to go on the journey with you, going through your brand and where you want to take it and what things do you want changed. And when I'm able to sit with you through the discovery session, whether it's in person or on a video chat, we always do this because it's about connection, right? So when you're hiring people, such as me, a designer, you want to ensure that you hire a designer that also does a discovery session, because it will give you that opportunity to tell them what you want to see from this brand, what vision that you have, because there's a lot of people in the past that I've worked with that just asked me for a logo. And that's great, right? But the problem that I'm missing here is that there is no time to discuss anything in terms of getting to know you, getting to know your business, getting to know your goals and what your purpose is. There's people that come to me, I just want a logo ASAP, please get it done to me in an hour. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. I just want to be clear that you need to understand the plan first before even touching any visuals. So this is why a discovery session is so important and how it's mandatory for any project. It doesn't have to be a logo, doesn't have to be a website. It just needs to be the first thing that happens for any creative project. It's something that needs to be engraved into people's heads, because we need to get to know you in order for us to understand your vision and for you to be able to trust us with giving your brand off to a designer such as myself. So why does a discovery session matter? The discovery session that I always conduct and facilitate goes through countless exercises that will bring you value. I definitely trust this and support this. I guarantee that you will find some insight in the exercises that I do with you. And the discovery session, like I said, it covers all aspects of a brand. So the 7 brand elements again. So we're talking about your purpose, your vision, vision, and mission, as well as your values, your positioning, your brand personality, and your story. So we cover all of this when we go through any type of introductory session. And us as designers, this is what we do. This is part of the process of diagnosing what you need help with. Maybe your brand is lacking a certain messaging, or maybe your brand is lacking the visuals that need to connect with the messaging. Maybe the brand is lacking a actual ideal customer, that you are looking to serve so many people and it's becoming a bit overwhelming and chaotic in your brand. So this discovery session not only goes through the countless exercises from your purpose all the way to your brand story. You need to kind of see the big picture here, that we're looking at everything as a whole from bird's eye view, and then we're going to narrow in afterwards, where we start looking at your logo and looking at building a brand guide for yourself, a website, all those great things. So this is just me talking in terms of sometimes people not feeling comfortable, right? Handing off something that is valuable to them. So this is something that we need to address as designers, that you have to build that trust between you and your client. And the client needs to have trust in the designer that they hire. And they would be able to give away their brand and trust in that designer, that they are going to design it the way that they envisioned it. But here's the great thing. The discovery session also entitles your interactivity with me as a designer. So remember that this is a co-creation collaboration. So you are not just giving off your brand to a designer and then they just leave and not come back and ghost you for a couple of weeks. It doesn't work like that. The discovery session is very in-depth and very thorough. With this process in mind, it is going to require your full attention and all of your energy, because the designer needs to understand, what are you looking for in this brand? What is your vision? We go through countless images and stylescapes that we build out to create an art direction. So there's lots of things that we do in this discovery session. We even look at your ideal customer. So we look at what you currently have in terms of customer base. What's your foundational customer? What is customers that you want more of? All those great things. And we try to focus on one ideal customer that you want more of, and we focus on building a customer profile, and the customer profile will help to get clear on who you're talking to, and that also connects straight through to your brand attributes, and having those brand attributes is also going to help define your culture, define your people, as well as the feeling you bring, the impact you want to bring, and your X factor. So we dive into a huge chart where we go through different attributes and we brainstorm together, which is amazing, because when designers work with the client live, it actually makes the relationship and the building process so much easier. And we get along. And that's when we start building a great relationship that is going to keep moving forward. And you'll build that trust, right? Now, the other aspect of the exercises is we also look at your goals. We look at, what do you want to focus on right now? What are things that you need to get to that next step, right? We organize your thoughts in terms of, okay, you have me as a designer, you hired me. What do you want to get done first? Do you want to focus on a certain campaign, or do you want to focus on improving your website or designing your website? However the situation is, right? It depends on what we discover in the discovery session and hearing what your problem is, right? Because designers are here to solve a problem. They're not here just to make your system look pretty. there's much more to that. There's a lot of underlining things that sometimes people forget what designers can actually do and actually bring value to you. So yeah, there's some devalue there, but it's up to the designer to communicate that, what they can do for you, what they can bring to clear the air on things in your brand, right? So I just wanted to communicate that in terms of how brand designers go about starting with a client. Really, really concerned of giving away creative control to a designer. I want you to think about this. You, as a business owner, are going to get super busy as you keep growing. Keep that in mind, because you might not have the time to continually build your brand and make it consistent. You want to have faith and trust in a professional brand designer so that they learn about you and understand you and can basically stay on the same wavelength as you, so that when you're giving off projects to this designer, you have faith in them that, yeah, you know what you're talking about, you understand me. And that's key, right? So this is why in the discovery session, we actually start with your purpose and your vision, because that does matter. That does trigger what everything else is going to look like afterwards, right? It's a domino effect. So you start with your purpose. That steers the wheel in a direction where we then just project out that way down a narrow path, right? So we dive into these aspects because if we don't, then this is where the visuals start to fall apart, because it's not connecting back to the very beginning, which is the brand strategy, the brand purpose, the brand vision, the brand mission, the values, the positioning, as well as the personality and brand story. So like I said, it all comes together if it's done in the right way. So this is why you shouldn't just leave everything on your plate in terms of trying to have full control. It's okay to do it if you're just starting out as a business owner because you're trying to reduce costs. I understand that, but you do want to save up to hire a brand designer. It's a very good investment, and you'll see when you do get more established in your brand that you'll know where you feel satisfied now in your brand, because when you're starting out in the business, you're going to be pivoting a lot because you need to find, that sweet spot that works for you, and, that ideal customer that speaks really good to you and that you feel comfortable in working with. When you get all that together, then I would say start to hire a brand designer, because they will save you so much time and they will know exactly how to roll out your brand so that you can focus on just growing and getting those sales and building your audience and building your community. So I'm just letting you know that is what I see in terms of, not being afraid to give away your creative control. When we start with the discovery session, we always look to your vision and your mission, because that is what's going to drive the visuals and the communication. So that's super important. That's why you can't have this fear of giving away your most prized possession. You have to build a team eventually, a team that you feel confident in, that you can trust, and that you know that you will be okay with this team and that they will echo the same message We focus on rolling out designs that focus on your ideal client, but also your vision and the mission that you want to communicate. So this is really ideal. It's not about you, it's about your ideal client and how you can help them. And this is actually quite funny. So you know how you guys have your therapy sessions and listening to individuals that are going through something difficult and they don't know how to solve the problem, and then you provide a solution. Well, first you kind of diagnose what's happening and then you give them a solution. Well, it's kind of like a brand designer. I can say that I'm a brand therapist. It's actually funny, but why I say that is because what we do as brand designers is we put you through this discovery session. The discovery session acts as a therapy session because we listen to you. We actively listen to what your story is and what is stressing you out right now. What challenges are coming up for you that you want to clear up right away. And these are so important because that's how you establish that connection right away. So we hear you out, we hear your story, and then what we do is we repeat what we've heard so that we understand what the problem is. And when you agree, we then look at everything as a big picture. We step back and we look at everything and we say, yes, Debbie, you have an issue with speaking to the right client. It seems as though you don't feel you're aligned to the right person. Let's help you find that ideal client. Or another one is your messaging is not aligned. You're saying this, but your designs are saying something different. So we need to either fix your visuals to match that messaging, or we need to vice versa that. Fix the messaging so that it aligns with your visuals. That's how we diagnose what is going on here, and then we provide solution where we take you through the rest of the discovery session and we get really deep insights on what's happening and how we can improve areas in the brand, taking it into art direction as well as finishing off with your logo, website, or anything else that you were requesting. As a brand designer myself, I'm here to listen. I have great ears and I'm a very empathetic person, so I'm able to understand what you're going through in your brand and how I can help you through all of my experiences working as a graphic designer, working as an illustrator, and working as a web designer. So I have a lot of background that will be able to bring a solution to you. And the focus here is capturing your vision. That's why I push to do discovery sessions. And if people don't want to do the discovery session with me, then this is where I'd say you got to go to somebody else, because this is how I do my process and this is how I create great work, accurate work, is because of these discovery sessions. So again, not everybody would like this. Not everybody would like to sit through a 3 to 5 day session. But let me tell you this, that you will be extremely grateful that you said yes to this, because you'll see how much insight you get out of this and how great you feel after it. You'll feel clear, you'll feel confident in the whole idea of your brand and the direction you want to go in, and you'll feel confident in the brand designer that you hired because you see eye to eye. And that's so important when you're trying to work with other people. So that's all I wanted to say today in terms of having trust in hiring a designer, not being afraid to give away creative control. You need to let go sometimes in order to grow, or you'll be constantly going in a loop that you might find stressing. So again, trust in those who are the professionals. You focus on getting people in a community to help them heal, or you focus on the positivities, positive psychology to help people because that's what you're best at. Let the professionals who deal with building a brand, making it consistent, getting the messaging correct, all of those things, leave it to the professionals such as myself or any other brand designers that you have in your network. They were here to help you, and they were educated with the proper tools to get you there. So I wanted to say thank you so much for listening today, and I hope that I helped clear the air on some things and shift your mindset a little bit in terms of having full control versus divvying out your tasks to others that you trust. So yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day. Keep smiling. Bye.